This is Christine. I'm an artist from northern Wisconsin, and I'm going to share this piece with you called Old Growth. When I paint, I always give myself a lot of challenges. And this piece gave me more than I needed. It's a 40 by 60 piece. It's on an 8-foot by 8-foot wall. This stool below it is 24 inches. It's a big piece. The challenge that I had with this piece was I tried painting on a canvas. I didn't prime myself. It was a canvas that was already primed. Many people buy pre-primed canvas. And I'm saying to myself, well, why am I going to all this trouble priming my own canvas when I'll just buy the pre-primed? So I bought a whole roll, 10 yards, of pre-primed canvas. It wouldn't take paint. It was extremely difficult. I can't tell you how hard it was. I would put paint on the normal way I would put paint. I'm comfortable putting paint on it. I can't tell you how many different compositions I had on this piece trying to make the paint stay on the canvas. After a while, there were so many layers on the piece, it began to stick to the layer beneath it. But the challenge was, as I started getting different layers of paint on it, the challenge was, well, I've tried all the compositions I was thinking about, and I've covered them all up, and what's going to appear? And as I was painting and putting on some different colors, I saw these old growth trees, and I thought, okay, I think this will work. And these old growth trees, I had to define this area in here, but these old growth trees came up, and if you look very carefully, because of all the paint and all the texture beneath it, these roots began to form. And they happen naturally out of the paint, and I just loved them. They were part of the old growth of these trees and the bark and the things that happened, and so I let them be. I let the paint drip over them. I let it bleed in different crevices and cracks, and these all became the roots of the tree. This area is particularly wonderful with roots in it. And the fact that it's orange, magenta, and teal doesn't make any difference. It's old growth, and it works very nicely. You know, when you see a big old tree with big roots coming out, here's the big root coming out over here. You can see here that I put white over this green, dry brushed it, simply because I was, again, trying to bring out this area, trying to get my composition to work. This area probably wouldn't happen naturally, but it allowed me to emphasize the two trees, the old growth trees. And if you look carefully, you can see this squirt of paint right in here, very thick. There's tons of paint on this because this piece wouldn't behave. I'm not going to ever paint on pre-primed canvas again, never. But another wonderful thing that happened, because the canvas was so thin and I put so much paint on it, and the paint began to build up and create waves in the canvas. And when I was stretching it, if you look at this piece sideways, it's actually got waves because of the layers of paint. And I kept on looking at it. I was stretching, and I thought, I can't get this out. I can't pull this out so it's flat and smooth. And that's when I realized it was never going to be flat and smooth. It's because of the layers of the paint and how much paint I put on it and allowed it to remain. So I left it. And you look at it and you go, oh wow, that is so cool. And when you look at the detail of the piece and all the colors working with the other colors, it just, in the end, it turned out really nice. But I have to tell you, I think I worked on this piece for 3 or 4 months. It would be in my studio, I'd come back to it, I'd work on something else because it wasn't working out. I'd come back to it, I'd work on something else. Finally, something started to emerge, and I have old growth trees. Look for videos as I do new works, and if you need a video done of a piece that I've already painted and haven't videotaped it yet, just email me at Christine@ChristineAlfery.com.